All right, so on this particular problem, what they're asking us to do is we're being asked to write this linear equation in the slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. So I need to know the m and I need to know the b. Now I went over this with the other class and they said, well, Mr. Adams, this is easy. B is the y-intercept. And it looks like it crosses here at 9, so we assume that it's 9. And then another kid said, look, Mr. Adams, you just count down and over, right? Because the slope is the rise over run. So I went down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me write this out so you see it. The slope is the rise over the run. And because we went down 6, isn't that a negative, right? Remember, when you go up in the y direction, it's positive. When you go down in the y direction, it's negative. So they said to get from this point to this point, I'm going to have to go down 6 and then over 1, 2. In other words, the rise over run is negative 6 over 2, which is negative 3. And I said, wow, guys, that's good, but how do we know for sure? How do we know for sure? Now, the slope we probably know for sure because we go from one given point to another given point. Okay? The slope, the y-intercept, I don't know for sure. I don't know if it looks like it's crossing at 9 up here, right? It looks like it's crossing at 9 right here, but I don't know for sure. So we're going to have to do some math. So to verify this slope, remember that your slope is equal to the change in y. The change in y is represented by y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. How many of you guys remember that? Show of hands. You guys remember doing that? It's a couple years ago. All right, cool. So now it doesn't matter what we pick for x sub 1, y sub 1. So I'm just going to say this is x sub 1, and this would be my y sub 1. Okay? So what I'm saying is my x sub 1 is equal to 1. My y sub 1 is equal to 6, because that's a point on the line. And I'm going to make this x sub 2, y sub 2. So my x sub 2 is 3, and my y sub 2 is 0. And my x kind of looks like a y. There we go. I don't know if that's better or worse. Let's just start over. All right. So now I'm going to take my time because my brain wants to go real fast, but I want to get the right answer. What's y sub 2? It's 0. Minus, I'm just put wherever there's a y sub 2, I'm going to plug in 0. The formula has a minus sign, I put a minus sign. Now I've got to plug in y sub 1. What's y sub 1? 6. All right, what's x sub 2? I heard it. 3, right? Minus, what's x sub 1? 1. So what is 0 minus 6? Negative 6. What's 3 minus 1? 2. So we were right. It's negative 3. Well, I knew that because they gave us the points. Okay? All right, now the next thing is I want to verify the y-intercept. I think it's 9. So if I do all this math and I get 9, I'm like, yeah. If I do all this math and I get 33, oh, I messed up somewhere. If I do all this math and I get negative 7, I messed up somewhere. Okay? I think it's 9 or close to 9. So I'm going to write out the formula. Help me finish this formula. Y minus, what's the next thing I write down? Point slope form. Y sub 1 is equal to m times what? X minus x sub 1. Okay? All right. So now this is easy. I'm just going to plug in the values that I have listed. So y minus y sub 1, we said that y sub 1 was 6. And we calculated that the slope is -3 times the quantity x minus x sub 1, which is 1. So far, so good. So I have to distribute the 3 through the parentheses. -3 times x is -3x. What's -3 times -1? Plus 3. And then over here, I haven't done anything, so we'll just say y minus 6. I want it to look like y equals some stuff, right? So I got to get y by itself. How do I do that? Well, I'm subtracting 6, so I do the inverse of subtraction, which is add. Whatever I do on one side of the equal sign, I have to do to the other. These cancel, and I get y is equal to -3x plus 9. Well, bam, with the bacon sizzle, that is the correct answer. Any questions? How do you guys feel about that? Now, do you guys feel a little better about the y minus y sub 1 formula thing and finding the stuff and plugging that in? Yeah, just like I said, the more we do it, the more you write it down, the more you put it in your brain, the more likely